just realized I completely forgot that we're or didn't I have it set up a specific way with like the
You did have it to where you were streaming to me, so I was watching the stream as we were going. But it's however you want to do it. All right.
There we go. We'll do that. That's fine. There we go. It's great. We get to do this on the fly. This is fun. Now I got to adjust everything because I have a new screen, so everything's fucked up.
I love that for you.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and go and do that. Zach, tell me about your week. How's your week?
My week's been all right. I basically just playing a shit ton of Elden Ring.
I saw that.
Like unhealthy degrees of Elden Ring. It doesn't help that for some reason this last week I would not start playing until like 10 p.m.
Oh no.
Every night. Usually I was pretty good and I'd be like, okay, 1 o'clock, time to check out because I got work tomorrow, so I'll shut it down. Last night I was up till 4, so...
You have a problem, Zach, and this is an intervention.
Yeah, I refuse.
You refuse the intervention? No one's... Oh God, you stumped me. You've stumped me and all of the interventions that have ever come before.
Yes. Yeah, Elden Ring's going well. I'm probably 80% of the way through, I think. Maybe 75. If I pass it through, I could probably finish it in a weekend, or this weekend, but I think being responsibly metered and not staying up till the ass crack of dawn, I'll probably have maybe an extra day or two, maybe finish it by middle of the week.
So it doesn't give you like a percentage that you can check?
No, you can look at like your achievements and kind of go from there, but like the thing is with me, I am scraping to a degree where I like only the most OCD will be scraping. You know, feasibly you could power through Elden Ring in probably about 60 or 70 hours if you knew what you were doing.
Right.
I'm at 186, I believe, right now. So
we all have that one game that we obsess over, you know, for a good almost year, and then you eventually get tired of it. That will be you in a couple of months, if not in the next month or so.
For sure, when I finish Elden Ring, it's going to be like Persona. Like any of the Persona games, I have to wait like 2 years before I play again, because it's like those are... Especially if you do like a new game plus run immediately after the standard run, you're looking at like 500 hours on one game. Like there was a point where vanilla Persona 5 came out, and that was the only thing I played for a month. And then I did try to go back through because Royal came out. And I tried to go back through that. I think I got about halfway through it, and I had to drop it. Not that it wasn't enjoyable. I was still very much enjoying it. It was just like, okay. Peggy. Like the problem with your Persona 4 Goldens and your Persona 5 Royales, most of the new content is at the end. Aside from, you know, like, oh, here's a new character that you can have your social links with, and that all that's new. And there's some like activity stuff that you can do, and like streamlining and quality of life improvements and stuff. But like story wise, like the big changes don't come until the end. So you're essentially playing through the same game again with variations, which means you're going through a 250 hour game twice.
I couldn't. I literally, it's not that I don't have the attention span or the interest, because if I had gotten to that point, I obviously played through the entire game and beat it, enjoyed it, to want to finish it. Yeah. But then to immediately right after start a new game plus to do it all over again.
Yeah.
There's no game. There's no game that makes me want to do that.
Yeah.
Period.
Persona 5 did. I definitely enjoyed because part of the problem too is I'm a slave to platinum trophies. So yeah, I'll play games for longer than necessary. You know, like I was talking about Kana last week.
Yeah.
And I could have probably finished that in 8 hours and not gone through it again. Um, although that doesn't really count because there was a sort of workaround for that. Anyway, I play games more often than I necessarily would have to if I was just playing them for the one time. You know? And I think Elden Ring will definitely be in the Persona 5 sort of area where I have spent so much time on it. I love it. It's definitely like, unless something crazy happens from now until the end of the year, Elden Ring is without a doubt going to be my game of the year. That being said, I will probably not touch it for like 2 years after I'm done with it.
That's fair. No, and to squeeze enough out of the game to enjoy it to its full extent, you're doing exactly what the developers are intending. You know, you're enjoying it as much as you can, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say, you know, obviously, I just stated that, you know, I won't play it again for 2 years. Obviously, if Elden Ring DLC drops, then yeah, I'm going back in and, you know, doing that. But in terms of going back through the just general game again, yeah, it'll be a minute before I do another run. Just because I feel like I am squeezing as much blood out of the stone as possible. And that is a mixture between desire to see everything just because I like the game. What the hell are you guys doing?
They look like they're arguing.
They might be. They were getting iffy with one another earlier today. Frodo's kind of a butthole.
That's true in all senses, in all definitions.
Yeah, like I'm getting as much out of the game out of a desire to see everything because I love everything in the game and I'm enjoying it, but also as a compulsory thing. Like I am getting to the point now where if there's something like I feel like I've gotten all the important stuff out of this area and I don't like this area, then I'm just going to leave. Like, I'm going to do everything I need to story-wise or quest-wise in this one place. And if I don't like it, then I won't stay longer than I have to. But sometimes it comes back around because you can just go back anytime, you know, and
yeah.
If I get an itch and like, you know what? It is really bothering me that I didn't go check that one fucking corner out. And so I'll go back and check it, and it's like, 200 runes or some shit, which is like ridiculous when bosses are dropping 420,000 runes in late game.
That's how they incentivize you, right? To go after those bosses. So
yeah. But all that to say, yeah, still very much enjoying my time. And I hope to never play it again once I'm done for a while.
Yeah.
But other than that, I guess the other thing would be we hung out last weekend.
We did
watched some movies. Yeah,
we did. I'll put a clip of us on the couch there. I think I have it on my phone somewhere. But we watched From Dusk Till Dawn, and we watched. Let's see. I can't remember the second movie. Oh, it was Street Fighter: Legend of Chun-Li.
Yes, Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li.
That piece of shit movie.
Your brain tried to wipe it out.
It did, and I did the exact same thing when I got home the next day, and I woke up the next morning because I got home at like midnight. And my roommate asked me, where were you last night? I was like, I was hanging out with a friend and we were watching some movies. And I know we watched From Dusk Till Dawn. I can't remember the other movies. So I even did it like within 24 hours.
It's like as soon as the credits started rolling, you were like, all right, let's get rid of that trash.
I mean, it was a fun movie to make fun of. It was pretty great, but
oh Jesus, yeah.
What was this? A clip?
Oh yeah, this is when she's wandering around aimlessly and not doing anything for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you could say that about most of the movie, and none of it was memorable except for all of the bad parts.
Are
and
you kidding? Yeah, okay. Because I discreetly am still replaying the throat punch from the very beginning of the movie over and over in my head.
Oh God, I don't. Yeah, so we ended up hanging out after not hanging out in person for a while, and that was fun.
Yeah, I had never seen From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, that's insane to me. What are some like other movies? I don't know. We probably talked about it before, but
there's actually like a lot of like 80s action movies that I surprisingly have not seen. Like Last Action Hero, I haven't seen.
That's insane. That's also not 80s. That's 90s.
Okay, well, it gets lumped together because of Schwarzenegger.
Whoa! Last Action Hero. I want to see what year that came out. 93.
Yeah.
You seen
the cusp,
Big Trouble? 3 years. Big Trouble in Little China. Have you seen that? Okay.
Yes.
Commando.
No.
You've seen Predator.
Yes.
Have you seen Cobra?
No.
Have you seen Rocky? Any of the Rockies?
I've seen Rocky, Rocky, Balboa. Rocky Balboa.
So
the fifth one or whatever.
Sixth one.
Came out of.
The sixth one.
Yeah.
Because it isn't technically.
I've seen Creed too. I've seen the first Creed movie.
Okay, so you've seen 6 and 7 of this eight-part film series, and Creed 3 is coming out on Thanksgiving, I think, or thereabouts. Still no trailer, which is astounding to me. But Sylvester Stallone isn't coming back for Creed 3, so maybe they're like, or maybe they're still filming it, and they were kind of. We're in this weird period of time where we're still getting like movies that were being filmed during the pandemic of like 2020 and 2021.
Stuff that's gotten pushed all over the release schedule.
Yeah, stuff's being moved around. So people are trying to accommodate that, and Creed being a huge draw for audiences, at least, because it was, I don't know, super lauded. I still haven't seen the Creed movies, but I've seen the Rocky movies, except for 5. But I actually want to go back and rewatch all of the Rocky movies and the Creed movies before that one, and see if I can do like a whole like franchise list like I used to do. Because I don't know, I want to be inspired. Rocky is inspiring as shit. The Eye of the Tiger. I know it's 2 different songs, but so. Let's see. Some other ones. Let's.
I've seen Terminator. I've seen Terminator 2. I've seen RoboCop. I have not seen RoboCop 2.
You need to see Before You Die. Before You Die, Zach. In case you had any.
Die Hard. I've seen First Blood. I've seen once, like years ago.
That's a good one.
Raiders is like my favorite movie of all time, so I've definitely seen that.
Predator, Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop, fantastic.
Trouble. Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. I've seen Lethal Weapon 1, but not any of the subsequent sequels.
I actually highly recommend 2 and 3, but not 4, and not the TV show. The TV show wasn't super bad, but...
Well, yeah, Superbad's a movie.
Kill yourself. RoboCop.
RoboCop I've seen. Top Gun I've seen. Red Dawn I've seen like 30 minutes of.
It's good. Don't watch the remake.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Chris Hemsworth. It's your fault. It's not your fault. It's China's fault, actually. Terminator. Aliens you've seen. Mad Max 2.
Yep. I have seen all the Mad Max movies.
Okay. Batman. Haven't seen Commando.
No Commando. Escape from New York I've seen.
Okay, good. 48 Hours?
I actually, Escape from New York, I watched at your house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Forever ago.
Yeah, it was, God, I think we were like 16 or something. If that, maybe even younger.
Way back in the day. 48 Hours?
48 Hours I've seen. Rambo, I have not seen.
Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop 2.
I've seen Beverly Hills Cop 2. I've seen. I still need to watch 3. So I've seen 1 and 2, but not 3.
There was a third one?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh. Did not know that. Indiana Jones.
Yep, seen that one.
I actually haven't seen Red Heat.
I don't even know what that is.
It's got John Belushi and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Directed by Walter Hill, who did 48 Hours. Superman 2.
Way, I love the fact, obviously, like, you don't have to put too much stock in, like, any of these meta rating sites like IMDb and whatnot. But it's really fucking funny to me when you look at a list that's like 80, such and such movies to see before you die. And, like, you're not even hitting 50, and the movies are all rated at, like, they're like a 6.
Yeah, 6.1, 6.8.
Do I really need to carve out the time to see a 6-star movie?
Especially when we're only, like, halfway down the line.
Yeah.
Any Which Way You Can, I haven't seen.
I have seen Superman 1 and 2, the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah. He did all 4.
Conan, I've seen probably, like 30 minutes of.
Streets of Fire. Never seen.
I don't know what that is.
A mercenary is hired to rescue his ex-girlfriend, a singer who has been kidnapped by a motorcycle gang. Rick Moranis is in this.
Oh.
It was probably a bomb, I'm guessing. If it only grossed $8 million, yeah. Roadhouse.
Roadhouse, I've seen that bit on Family Guy where they made fun of Roadhouse.
It's a good movie. Blue Thunder.
Roadhouse.
Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What the fuck is that? Hold on. Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins. Okay, apparently the full movie is on here.
The full movie is on here. That's like when we were looking up like fight. We did a Nicknames Movies episode where we were watching like fight movies or some shit, or I don't even remember exactly what the brief was because we're watching a specific type of movie, and we found that it was like Bloodsport but with robots.
Oh my god, that was like episode 3 or 4.
Yeah.
The very beginning of.
And it's like the whole thing is on YouTube. God, I gotta go back and figure out.
I think it was a post-apocalyptic movie. I think it was the movie set in 2019.
Yes,
futuristic movie set in 2019.
Yeah.
So. Go back and watch that. I'm seeing people going back and watching like Nicknames Movies episodes. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. That was a long time ago, decades ago.
And we've learned so much from that. Our quality is just shot through the roof.
Remo Williams.
Top security experts have chosen this man.
Don't take any chances. This guy's a killer.
For a special mission.
Is that Charles Bronson?
First, he's got to pass
or is it?
test.
Speak English.
Yep. Oh.
Hold it.
All right. Some dated. Okay. Yeah. All right. I can't imagine why this isn't wildly talked about.
It's in the top 50 action movies you need to watch before you die.
However,
Stupid.
Goodbye, Mr. Crow.
who's he?
What is this? This trailer is bad shit.
It's that time period when they're like,
Doesn't exist.
it doesn't matter what the context of the scene that the actual line takes place. It just needs to have a line that can segue to another line that will build up tension. I don't care about this guy though.
Yeah, he seems not very good at his job for one.
The adventure begins.
Oh my god, that's Joe Dirt's dad. That's the actor who, I think he actually recently passed away.
Oh, did he?
Place your hands behind your head. I did not say keep them there.
Before he's through, he'll run faster than a bullet.
Oh, okay.
Excellent.
Not bad.
Hear the heartbeat of an enemy.
What? No.
And leave
Okay.
footprints in the sand.
No.
Some joker walks into one of my plants, snoops around, walks right out again, and now you're telling me he doesn't exist?
Across town, a man has found his head blown off. Perfect accident.
And you telling me he's gonna get away with it, huh? And we can't stop him?
You can stop him, son.
Back in the 80s when trailers were like fucking the length of the movie.
I mean, honestly, it's showing every single part of the movie.
Now, based on the Destroyer novel.
Hey, it's Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
America's
This is part of the MCU.
comes to the screen.
Oh no, we need to call Remo Williams
to hold him.
because his adventure began. So
That's Fred Ward, by the way.
Fred Ward.
Not Charles.
that's who I meant. I
Oh,
pivoted
yeah.
away from because that's he just recently passed away, didn't he?
I don't know. Let's see. Fred Ward. It would interest you to know that apparently, I don't know if it's legit or not, but IMDb has a page for Remo Williams 2 that came out in 2017.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah. Wow.
The adventure
Yeah, you're right.
continues.
Fred Ward passed away on May 8th, 2022.
Yeah, so literally 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I mean, Unarmed and Dangerous. we gotta follow this. I gotta follow this. This nothing
This
else
thread,
matters.
This mystery thread.
Is there a sequel? Remo Williams, The Prophecy.
These all have to be like fucking fan made movies. Or
It's a
some shit.
TV. It's a TV movie. It's apparently. So it's probably similar to how, like Fletch, how it's based off a book series, because I'm seeing novel series The Destroyer. So they're just adapting the character into multiple movies and stuff, but they're not like connected at all. That being said, I am looking forward to the new Fletch movie coming out. I don't think this year. Hold on.
Was that John Hamm? Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the sequel. What's the name of that new one?
Fletch Forever.
Forever. Damn it. It won't let me. Where's sequel? Fletch 3. Come on, Collider. Greg Matala from Adventureland and Paul. Confess Fletch, which is just rolls off the tongue.
Yes. Confess. Fletch.
Yeah. John Hamm, Marcia Gay Harden, Kyle MacLachlan, and Roy Wood Jr. will also be joining the cast, with John Slattery also appearing in the film. It's a Mad Men reunion.
It's okay.
So, going back to the list, because I'm noticing a lot. Octopussy. Raw Deal, I had never heard of. Iron Eagle, I have heard of, but I've never seen. I remember Family Guy making fun of that too. With
the Running Man, I've seen.
Running Man, I've seen.
I've talked about this before.
Extra Jackson,
My
I've seen.
Bond film experience is woefully lacking.
It is, and
Yeah.
I want to rectify that. Like, I'm willing to go back through the Daniel Craig movies and rewatch those with you, because it would kind of be weird for me to just like sit down and say, "Hey, we're watching No Time to Die," because it's a great movie, but you gotta kind of rewatch the other Craig movies.
Well, and I've watched Casino Royale. Casino Royale, just by virtue of being the one that people have played for me every time I've told them that I have not watched very many James Bond.
In fact, I
movies.
think that was me. I think I did that.
That was you were in the same company. I've seen Casino Royale, the Daniel Craig Casino Royale, probably like 4 times at this point. But there's a bunch of James Bond movies that I've never seen at all. And then I've seen like I think I've talked about this before. I was in a film class years ago, back when I thought I was going to graduate college.
How did that affect your movie watching sensibilities? Because you're not watching all these action movies.
The class I was in was a lighting class for one. And so when I say I watched part of Spectre, what I actually mean is or was it Spectre? Which one was the one? No, Skyfall. No. Which was the one with Javier Bardem?
That was Skyfall.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I say I've watched part of Skyfall, what I actually mean is I've seen about 15 minutes of Skyfall in which I was shown the different lighting techniques in a certain scene. So you can't even really count that one. So at this point, I've seen Casino Royale with Daniel Craig like 4 times, and I've seen Tomorrow Never Dies once.
That is with Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
And
Halle Berry.
Nope. That's Die Another Day.
Okay, well then that's the one I've seen because I remember Halle
so
Berry.
you watched literally the worst Pierce Brosnan Bond film, and then you watched only 2 out of the 5 Daniel Craig Bond films.
I've probably seen like little bits and pieces about the other Brosnan movies, like GoldenEye and Tomorrow Never Dies, just by virtue of cable television back in the day.
Right.
But that's I can really tell you. I know there was a snow speeder, or what are they called? Snow skis. What are those fucking things called? They're like jet skis on snow. I was up till 4.
Actually, now that's you put me on the spot. I don't know. What are they called? What are those snowmobile?
Snowmobile, of course. You're mobile on the snow. Yeah.
Exactly. Rainbow 3, Living Daylights. Yeah, I think you definitely need to go back. You can cherry pick. I don't think anyone would give a shit when you go back to the, especially the. Why am I?
Roger Moore.
I was thinking Richard. Roger Moore. Even the George Lazenby. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. You can go Timothy Dalton, although his are my least favorite, just because he wasn't as charismatic as Brosnan, and he wasn't as actiony fun as Sean Connery or Daniel Craig. So he was kind of like milquetoast. George Lazenby was more charismatic.
Who was Moonraker?
That was Timothy Dalton, I believe.
Okay.
Oh wait. Hold on. Before anybody checks, how much do you want to bet that I'm wrong?
I think you're right. I believe in you.
You said
you.
Moonraker?
Moonraker, yeah.
Nope, I was wrong. Fuck.
That's what I get for believing in you.
I know, it was Roger Moore. That's my fault. Literally the only movie where he's up in fucking space. How about Steven Seagal movies? Have you watched any of his?
No.
You actively avoid them, like a sensible person.
I mean, like, I hate Steven Seagal, although like his character is questionable at this point, and putting it lightly. No, I just like, and I've gone on record about this sort of thing before. I'm just not a big action movie person. So I don't actively seek that out. And a lot of the 80s filmography at the time, like big blockbuster stuff, was action movies. So my film sensibility skews towards more like sci-fi or fantasy or, drama. I can enjoy a good action movie, but I can only take so much, like the Fast and the Furious, the new Fast and the Furious movies appeal to me in the sense of whenever I see the trailer, I'm like, that looks stupid as shit.
Mhm.
And I love that it's stupid as shit. But I never watch those movies because I know in the middle is a bunch of like
I don't know.
dialogue and scripting and just like
You need to. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to go into it with the same mindset as seeing Street Fighter: Legend of Chun-Li.
But the problem with that is the from what I gather based on marketing and just general feeling of the movies, it's played completely straight.
Yes.
Like, you're not supposed to make fun of this stupid shit when you're watching a Legend of Chun-Li and she literally lands on a dude's head and then like twists around and it's like 180 degrees the other direction. Nobody's thinking like, oh yeah, this is the height of cinema. Like,
but that's the thing. No, that's exactly what people are doing. They're just, when they come out of the theater, they're thinking this is the height of cinema because they're playing into the trope of it actually being played straight. When everyone involved, except for maybe Vin Diesel because he's up his own ass, everyone involved knows that these things are fucking ridiculous. Did you see the trailer for Fast 9?
Probably.
The part where hold on, Fast 9 teaser, because there's a very specific part of the trailer that is played completely straight. And of course, you know, he's like, oh, my long lost brother that never showed up in any other.
That shit right there, like, not to cut you off, right, where he's like clutching the fucking crucifix or whatever. Like, that's the shit I'm talking about. That's the straight, like, the stuff that's played straight that is just bothersome to me. Where you're like, your characters are like these ridiculous, nonsensical versions of.
In the movie itself, they discuss how ridiculous it is that they're still alive. This part right here.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is this stuff right here where he's like fighting a fucking stealth jet and whatever.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that I see and I'm like, yeah, like I'm watching this part and I'm like, that looks stupid as hell and I love it.
Yeah.
The part that I don't love is the stuff in between this with the character quote unquote development.
They fucking bungee cord a car.
Where they're like, this is the heist and all heist family and like all the character stuff in the middle of it is just terrible writing, and it's not like The Room where like the whole fucking thing is terrible and everybody's making fun of it and like, yeah, this is stupid as shit. It's like, yeah, you got people walking in here like, it's not like I'm a cool guy and like, ooh yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. Like, you can't come front to me and.
So I think that your problem, because it is your problem.
Oh no, it's a me problem for sure.
Is that you're suspending your disbelief when you shouldn't be. You should be completely in disbelief the entire time, even when they're my fucking heart. Even when you are supposed to be like watching the serious scene where he's like, oh no, my lover who I had a secret child with that got kidnapped by Charlize Theron. Charlie Theron. She gets shot in the head and you're like, oh shit, this is a serious, sad moment. But it really isn't, because why the fuck is this happening in the first place? You have serious moments where like characters die and you're like, oh shit, that's super sad. And then you realize, no, wait, they're probably alive and they'll show up, what is it, 6 movies later.
Well, and
wink, wink.
I could see like doing that in something that's like, you know, a YouTube video, or like fuck, even a collection of 3 movies, you know, whatever. So to where it's not like hours on hours of this just shit tier character nonsense. And you could say like it's not supposed to be serious, you know, at all. But the camera, the score, and you know, everything else, the way people are behaving in those scenes tells me otherwise. It's not like fucking MacGruber, where Vin Diesel is like sweating tears or whatever because one of his family members died, or you know, like
Everyone's family, by the way. Everyone is
yeah,
family.
exactly, yeah.
You're just missing out on Helen Mirren doing some sick ass car spins and flips.
Okay, well, the action stuff, like that action, like the dumb shit action, is the stuff that I would feasibly enjoy, because that's the stuff where it's like, okay, yeah, this is, nobody's like looking down the center of the fucking camera and going like, this is serious.
But they are. And that's what makes it less serious and more funny. You gotta, and here's the thing, there is literally only one movie where it's played completely serious, and that's the first movie. And even then, all of that shit is ridiculous, especially when you.
But that's a street racing movie. That's not an action movie.
Exactly, and that's the thing, is when you go further into that series after having watched the first one and even kind of the second one, is that you have, when the further along you get in that series, the more ridiculous you realize the series is as a whole, and it amplifies everything.
I will say, I'll give it this. I have yet to get the energy coming off of the Fast and the Furious franchise that I did when the Expendables movies were coming out.
Right.
I had never watched an Expendables movie, and then I was over at your place one time, and we sat down to watch the first one, and we got like 15 minutes into that. I'm like, bro, I cannot do this without being drunk. This is horrendous.
It's the same
How
thing.
are those movies so popular?
It's the same exact thing. You don't go into a Fast and Furious movie completely sober, completely level-headed, because then you have to deal with the thoughts that are going through your head when you're watching them.
So see, now we're circling back to the strategy for me to watch a Fast and the Furious movie has now become the same strategy that I literally employed when Casey had me go see the 50 Shades movie.
Yeah.
When we went to a movie house and I got fucking slammed because I should
have brought me along.
Sober.
You should have brought me along. That would have been way more fun. I'm just saying, I don't mind being a third wheel, but in order to help alleviate the pain, I guess I would have easily sat through those.
Yeah, I don't know if the alcohol helped.
I actually have never seen the 50 Shades movies. I've seen like clips and bits, but I never sat through and watched them.
Say what you will about the first one. It is perfectly serviceable for what it is. It's not trying to be anything extra or whatever. It's just a dumb, you know, ridiculously scripted, terrible dialogue sort of movie that you watch. You're like, wow, this is really dumb, and then you're done. And you never have to touch it again until the next 2 movies come out, and then it's just like, I guess the way they decided to adapt those books was just pluck scenes from them out and then put them places. So it's like additional material. You like, I have no fucking clue what happened in those movies.
I think that's because the people who are, I guess, the part of the marketing team for that, and the same thing with the Magic Mike movies, is they know exactly who their audience is, and so they're tailoring to them, but to the lowest common denominator. It's the same thing with the Fast and Furious movies. I honestly think when people are putting together trailers for franchises that they know are for a very specific niche audience, they push hard into that niche. And that's the explosions for action movies. That's the sexy, like, ripping off a shirt scene for every romance movie. It's the leaning hard into one specific celebrity who's the hot thing right now kind of thing. It's just, that's what it is. It's marketing towards that movie.
People do.
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes it's pretty trashy.
Terrible fucking trailers. because the people in charge most of the time of cutting those trailers are not in charge of actually making the movie.
Yeah, and so
They'll just cut shit into like, oh, here's a huge fucking
Spoiler.
bomb that you're not supposed to know until halfway through the fucking thing, and
yeah.
we're just gonna throw it in there. And like you brought up Magic Mike, that is a pretty good example of something that on the tin it looks like something entirely different. When you get in there, like Magic Mike is more of like a kind of depressing as fuck drama, but it's marketed as look at the stripper people.
Yep.
Aren't these guys hot?
Unfortunately,
it's kind of crazy, like because Magic Mike is one of those movies where again my wife was like, let's watch this movie, and I'm like, okay, I love you, sure.
all right, I love you. Why not?
And then you get to the like midway point and shit starts going downhill fast. Like it turns into a sort of Boogie Nights movie, where the first half is like oh ha ha ha, coming of age, teen sexuality sort of thing, or whatever.
For Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty much a direct correlation to Magic Mike. Which, if it's not marketed that way, it's a little shocking. I mean, look at this. We're like a minute into the trailer at this point, maybe 30 seconds.
That was just one uninterrupted scene. Good Lord.
Like, this shit right here has nothing to do with the actual point of the movie.
They're just showing all the hot guys. Why not?
Other than, like, yes, people strip.
And how yellow it is. How yellow this movie is. Steven Soderbergh, get your shit together. Either quit or don't. Either retire or don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't even know where we're going with this line of questioning.
I'm just saying, marketing people going to market.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I still haven't seen any of these either. I think
the first Magic Mike is actually, due to the fact that it is actually a dramatic movie, it's actually pretty good. I didn't see the second one. I have no idea.
You mean Magic Mike XXL?
Yeah. I honestly, by the way the first one ends, I have no fucking idea how they managed to do a second one other than just put Channing Tatum back up on a stage and have him strip.
They just go on like a road trip, don't they?
I have no idea.
Yeah, they go to like Miami or whatever.
Mm.
I don't actually care, but yeah, anyway. I talked to you. I'm not going to play it on here, but I watched the first episode of How to Make a Sex Room on Netflix.
Yes, you had mentioned this in chat, yeah.
And I gotta tell you, it's actually pretty insane.
Make a sex room now.
No. For who? For who? Ladies?
For you.
For who? No.
What are we watching here? What is on the screen?
I don't know. It's a sequel to a stripper movie, Zach. You guys okay? You guys are walking pretty slow. Poor Kevin Nash.
The fact that they have Kevin Nash up there too, still, like, that dude. No, come on, man. Don't do that.
He's in better shape than both of us combined.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, but no.
Yeah, see, they go on a road trip and strip everywhere else. I don't ever want to watch these movies, but I kind of do. It's also it's very yellow.
It's very yellow. Yeah.
Anyway, the sex room show. It starts off as like, oh, I want to help out these people who want to, like spice up their sex lives, obviously. But she starts off the first episode describing how she became a sex room designer, and it was just like she just designed rooms and then designed one sex room for a friend, and then
that's a bold move on that friend's part, like to go out to your architecture friend and be like, hey, so I know maybe you're busy, no rush or anything, but I kind of want to talk to you about hiring you for some, spec work, maybe something outside your normal purview.
It's pretty crazy how open people are willing to be about their intimate relationship with their partner for a Netflix show. Yeah. Especially going in, and I was telling my roommate this when we were watching it because we didn't have anything else to watch. No, we're not watching Watch Mojo. Unexpected dance scenes and non-dance movies.
WatchMojo.com.
Fuck no. We're not doing unexpected dance scenes and non-dance movies.
Beetlejuice is a good movie.
It is a good movie, but like, and that's probably like number one. I hate how they show like the number one in the anyway. But like when we were watching, I'm like, I could definitely tell exactly what kind of people would be willing to be on this show and to describe their sex life. And like there's scenes where she's like, okay, well, I'm trying to figure out what exactly they're into, so I'm gonna just pull out this big old Mary Poppins bag and carefully play, and it's like set to sensual music, but she'll pull out like a whole bunch of sex toys and the couple will like look at each other like, oh no, we didn't know this was planned. And then they slowly go, they go one by one with each of the toys and they're like, yeah, we were into this, or we want to, and they're okay, I know exactly what to do with your room. And then she just puts everything in their sex rooms.
Listen, at the very bare minimum, even if you're not being filmed for a Netflix show, if you are saying to yourself, I want to make a dedicated room for sex or sexual activities, you're gonna have. I would assume you anticipate giving a house tour at some point.
Right.
So you probably don't have a whole lot of misgivings about being open about your sexuality.
So the first couple that they show is a couple that decided they want to have it in their basement. And the thing is, to get to their basement, they have to open up like a storm hatch, but inside their laundry room. Their laundry room is like basically a closet. It's the size of half a closet. And then you have to, with like the washer dryer like on top of each other and everything. And then the hatch right in front of it. Then you have to walk down a staircase that's, I'm not even kidding, like 3 feet by 3 feet in size. And then you have to kind of squeeze down there in a narrow staircase, and then you're in the basement. I leaned over to my roommate. I'm like, what if the washer or dryer falls over and then you're fucking trapped in your sex room?
Well, you should have fun down there.
I mean, I guess. I don't know, unless it's like also raining or flooding or whatever.
Also, not to put too fine a point on it, that sounds fucking awesome.
What do you mean?
I went like a hidden Dexter's Laboratory room.
For murdering or sex or
it's
both?
Just like it's a hidden room. It's fun, you know. I don't, whatever. Like I'll put like a couch in there. I don't know.
Just a couch.
Couch and mini fridge. No TV. You know, it's just my quiet space.
The first couple, I was surprised that they didn't already, like, they weren't using it for anything. They put like some fucking Christmas ass lights with like those streamer lights that people do,
fairy lights or whatever.
Yeah. And then they just kind of spiraled it around like this really fucking gauche, never touched otherwise kind of basement. Had like concrete and everything. The lady whose name I can't remember, who's like supervising everything, she managed to spruce it up pretty nice, but they had to like wedge down a spanking bench and like one of those big X flogger things and like all the tools and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I get it, you're wanting to be secret about this sex room, and then it like pans to another couple and they're just doing it in their bedroom. Their sex room is their bedroom. I'm like,
well, yeah, there's varying levels, I guess, you know. Like,
so some people want to be open about it, some people don't. They want to have a weird sex dungeon, and so it was just kind of weird. We only watched the first episode. We didn't really go further into it, but they also just go straight into like talking to sex experts. And like, okay, well, you're into like whipping and stuff. Let me show you exactly how to whip people. And then they
just good. At least at practicing, you know, or teaching safe methods if you're going to be extreme about it.
Yeah, but like Netflix is not normally known for like super sexually explicit like TV shows like that they make for their platform. And I'm gonna sound like a prude coming out the other side of this, but like when they do that, the lady just fucking strips down and it has like pasties on and is like wearing a thong
like,
and everything.
The architect?
No, the sexperts. Although the architect is like getting down and dirty on the like before they're bringing down the spanking bench. Her and her contractor and the contractor's son are like going over all the different like tools they're gonna bring down to the thing, and it's like in the front yard in downtown Boston, and she like straddles the spanking bench, and the contractor like just pretends to like spank her jokingly while the son fucking watches, and it's awkward as shit. It's so awkward.
Oh my god.
And I want to laugh. I chuckled a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but it's just because it was all out of like, ugh, this is weird as shit, and it doesn't cut away.
Yeah,
Anyways.
well, I mean, I imagine if you're making a deliberate choice at that point to do that in the middle of downtown Boston, like that's like a candid camera sort of thing for any passerbys.
It's weird. It's a weird show. You could definitely find it on Netflix if you're curious.
So I want to gauge where you fall on this spectrum. Do you enjoy what was the furry dating show called?
Oh, I don't even know. Let's see.
You should. You watched it.
I watched a couple episodes.
Oh, now your tune changes.
Sexy Beasts. Of course.
If you had to choose between this and Sexy Beasts, which would you go with?
I would go with this one just because it seems more open and accepting, whereas Sexy Beast is pretending to be a dating show with like special effects makeup on
You
it.
just so happen to put on
And
makeup,
it's shallow as hell because you're going on like 2 dates with the person and then you decide if you want to be in a relationship with them, all the while having like dolphin makeup or alien makeup, and it's also frightening. It's just frightening because it's not like
it does look like nightmare fuel.
You're not wearing a furry mask, by the way. You're like having actual makeup on. So
prosthetics.
It's your face. We talked about it. On Lights Camera Nonsense. So no, I dating shows and like HGTV shows that never came to be, or like After Midnight. It's two different shows that I normally would never watch anyway, even if they were just normal people dating and normal people getting their house redone. It's just there are two genres of TV shows that I don't normally like. Not condone, but like I don't sit down and watch. Consume, because it has to do something like this, like Sexy Beasts and How to Build a Sex Room or whatever.
You need Sex Architect, not Property Brothers.
Right. She's very flamboyant though, which is what I kept saying her name. I'm like, Charlotte, no, or whatever her name was. I can't. But that was a thing. That was the thing. And I also started watching the Resident Evil show. Zach.
Yeah, I've been hearing some pretty mixed things, depending on who you ask about this show.
So it's not great. So let's take all of the previous Resident Evil movies and TV shows and everything, all the live action stuff. Just let's say it doesn't exist. This is the first adaptation. This is a bad adaptation. So it takes into account that. Amber Alert. Hold on.
Yeah, I just got that. Yeah.
Not that we don't care. It's just we can't do anything about it right now. I'm digging a hole that didn't need to be dug.
Anyway, why would you do that?
I don't know.
I swear to God,
Anywho, the show is supposed to take into account that at least the events of Resident Evil 1 took place, right? Because it kind of cuts between two different time periods. One in 2022 when a new worldwide outbreak happens, but set in New Raccoon City in South Africa. And then it also cuts forward in time to 2036 in a post-apocalyptic future where one of Wesker's kids is having to, survive, basically. We're watching the trailer right now. And it's got like sporadic moments of, oh, this is pretty cool. If this wasn't a Resident Evil show that wasn't tied to the video game series or the movies or the TV, it's not tied to anything. It literally is just Resident Evil is the name, and then Wesker is a character from the games. and that's it.
They have like a liquor, and that's about it.
And yeah, some of the monsters will show up, and then some of the that's a fucking spoiler, but it's so weird because it has a good budget, it has decent casting. I love Lance Reddick; he's great. It's just weird that I don't want to go down the road of like why choose Lance Reddick, because he's a great actor, but he's based off of an established character, right? Just fucking loop this. Come on, man. Go back. So there's that. There's also the fact that this never needed to happen because it's a story that never existed in books or video games or was implied in anything previously. So why? And then let's just say that, okay, well, maybe it's a good TV show. It's got good acting. It's got good, special effects, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't have good writing because we're talking about characters who are like jokingly saying that they watch Zootopia porn. And you have fucking Albert Wesker threatening an employee of Umbrella with, "You won't even get a job at Pornhub when I'm done with you." And I'm like, who the fuck is writing this?
It's to appeal to the children, the youths.
It literally is. It's trying to appeal to the fucking Gen Zers who didn't grow up on the original games. They grew up on the newer Resident Evil games. So you would think, maybe we should adapt some of the newer Resident Evil games, right? Maybe be current or adapt something that doesn't have anything to do with any of the pre-established characters. That would be cool. Obviously, if they change some of the names of the characters, that it would be different. I think, honestly, people would be more forgiving. Not super forgiving. It would still be pretty trash when it comes to the writing and some of the casting choices. But, I mean, it is what it is. It seems like such a waste of time and opportunity when it comes to an established franchise adaptation. Especially when when did the first movie come out? 2002 or 3?
2. Yeah, I think it was 2.
And so we've had 20 years to make a good Resident Evil movie. And we've had like one good Resident Evil live action adaptation. And we've had like one.
Can I posit a possibility to you in that regard? Is it possible that Resident Evil is just not a very good story?
No.
And that the majority of the time your enjoyment of it is based off of how ludicrous it is in terms of writing and how fun the gameplay actually is?
Here's the thing. You are almost correct. You are 99% correct. Because if you do go back and play the original Resident Evil games, the writing in those games is not good. Yes. I get that. But we have writers who know how to write good TV shows. It's not.
But I'm saying like in the sense of like if you were gonna do something either more faithful to the source material, then that by extension would have the same story beats, which would mean you'd still kind of have a problem with the writing. Right. Your dialogue might be better, but your overall narrative would still be the same.
Before we get too far away from it, the one good live action adaptation I would say is Welcome to Raccoon City, and only because it leans into the cheesiness of the dialogue from those earlier adaptations. The only problems with that movie is that they try to smush together a story of 2 full games into one movie. But they lean into the ridiculousness of the characters having to fight giant monsters, and it's campy as hell, and it's actually fun. I recommend it if you're a fan of like the original games. But this is like, let's do something that's not part of the games at all, and still try to make it and still take it seriously. That's the thing, is that it's fan fiction. And
so
it's bad.
The problem with this is the same problem I have with the Fast and Furious franchise.
How so?
Is the beats that are not supposed to be taken seriously or that are ludicrous are fine when you steer into it. But when you start trying to be too sincere with the ridiculousness and with no introspection or like sort of commentary on like how dumb it is, that's when it starts to falter, because you're like you're telling me I need to take the fact that and it's mild spoiler because I've seen this clip going around. You're telling me to take this clip of this woman doing a TikTok dance and song. I don't want to spoil it because I haven't actually seen the movie, but I know the beat. But basically, somebody is being controlled to do a TikTok dance at one point, and you're like, yeah, this is as part of the serious story and development going on here.
Wait, what are we talking about? What series? What movie?
This show.
Oh, I haven't gotten to that point, so I have no idea.
Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't mention too much then. Yeah,
I guess, but that kind of leans into both of our points, in that it seems wholly unnecessary.
Yeah,
but whereas Fast and Furious is a pre-established franchise that leans into the ridiculousness while also, for some reason, taking itself seriously because Vin Diesel is behind the scenes in every aspect of that. This doesn't scream Capcom approved all of this. Like the script for the first episode leaked like over a year ago.
Yeah.
And
but I mean,
it was
in that sense, if Capcom didn't approve, wouldn't you think they'd be like, what the hell is this shit?
I mean, you could say that, but they approved every other adaptation of their series thus far.
The matter is they don't give a shit as long as they're getting paid for the license. Frankly,
that's true.
The Resident Evil games are always going to make fucking bank no matter what, until they start to regularly shit the bed and you see diminishing sales. I mean, fuck, even Resident Evil 6 sold pretty well.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, they don't care. they're making hand over fist off these shitty things.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm disappointed at the very least. I think for all intents and purposes, this shows that Hollywood in general still doesn't care about video game adaptations when they know for a fact that there is a possibility to make a good one. We've had good video game adaptations within the last couple of years. Don't do this. Have you seen Sonic 2? Do you fucking know what a good video game adaptation is?
Well, considering most people say it's not as good as the first one, and I didn't even really like the first one all that much, I think I'm pretty safe in assuming.
Who is they? Who is they that you would actually take their opinion over mine?
The general audience.
The general audience doesn't know shit. All right, they don't know jack shit. I am telling you, as one of your best friends, yes, that it is a good and faithful adaptation. Brought tears to my eyes. The shoes, Zach. The shoes, Zach. God damn it. The shoes scene. This motherfucker. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Good Goose podcast, where we talk about all the news, I guess, and everything that's in between. And I still don't have an outro.
But you don't want to say the whole thing.
I don't want to say the whole thing. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for our upcoming schedule for the next week and what we plan on doing in the future. Zach, do you have anything else to say?
Chew your food fully so it can process through your body correctly.
What a fucking nerd. We'll see you next time. Adios.